Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Night Ranger back on the channel, and it's weird saying this intro after so long and not posting for like a year after posting every single day for like half a year. um, I just want to talk to you, but also to talk to myself. Like I find a lot of comfort in just like talking, and it's about like 11:30 right now, and I'm like, what better thing to do than to just record myself reflecting on what happened this year, um, as a whole, because obviously I'm still a student, and the last time I posted was in like September, so literally we went through a whole school year without me posting, and there's a lot of reason behind that. It's because I'm doing the IB, which is a very grueling curriculum, let's say that. And it's just tough, you know? That's why I didn't post that much, is because I had a lot of work to do. And I really found myself, struggling towards the end of the year because I abandoned so many things this year that I really liked, and I really regret abandoning a lot of the things I did. Um, it's because I was too goal focused. I was too focused on the fact that I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to get top grades, I want to go to a top university. There's so many things controlling in your life, and a lot of them were just putting their hands all over me and taking control of what I think and what I do. And is that worth it? Would I advise for anyone to do that? It's basically like you gotta imagine going to like monk mode and just completely like going all for it. Is it worth it? I would say I did get the results I was hoping for, but also when the results came and I was like, that's just how it is. Like, it's not something like, oh my god, I'm so happy. No, it's not. Because when you work so hard for something for so long, you lose all the kind of like, because you anticipate it so much, and all your lives you lived in anticipation, and the moment you get it, it's not anticipation anymore. I realized that the thing that's fun about the whole like high school process of like examinations and stuff like that is the anticipation. The anticipation is really fun because you want to get good grades and stuff like that. And it's just not really fun after you get it. Like, sure, like, but what now? That was a kind of moment that I had to go through the past like 2 months. I was like, what now? I still got a lot of things coming up, got uni applications. But yeah, you don't feel like you can celebrate this moment. You don't feel like there's a terminating point to your life, and like for the whole year you're waiting for that culmination of like, oh my god, I'm just a go, but you don't really get it, you know. Um, so any advice? I would say don't like stress yourself too much over things. Genuinely try to balance your passions with schooling. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I just realized it's not the end of the world, and I really wish that I kept on doing YouTube as something I like, because it genuinely is. It's just talking to myself in the camera and having the ability to stop thinking so quickly and stop moving through life like I'm gliding. You feel like you're gliding through life sometimes because life goes so fast and you just gotta keep pace with life. Realistically, it's not like that because life gotta keep pace with you. That's what I'm telling you. Because you dictate how you live your life. It's like a, it's like a motorway. You gotta think about it like that. Like at the end of the day, like if you go too fast, you're speeding. So that's when you get arrested. That's when shit goes wrong. So you can't be going too fast. You get me? Obviously, you can't be going too slow either, cause like, cause like then other people bump into you. But as in like, there's always a moderate pace you gotta find for yourself, and that's like the optimum place to be. Like you're heading towards a destination, but you also give yourself the freedom to say, hey, I'm not like going all for it. Like you have the freedom to say, okay, I can turn right here, I can turn left here, instead of just speeding on totally and completely and losing yourself with it. It's not worth it. Another few things I realized: stop doing meditation. I'm not really proud about that, but just stating what happened. I try to do a bit more at the end of the year, but it's something where if you don't have a habit of doing, it's very hard to get back into, which is why I was so happy that for the entirety of last year I did it consistently. You see, consistency is actually key. I realized a lot about consistency, right? In work, you gotta be consistent, day upon day upon day, to get the result you want. But through consistency comes sacrificing, because you gotta sacrifice stuff to stay consistent, you know? Because consistency requires a certain number of hours or effort put in per day. The effort that you would use to do this thing would be sacrificed for you to achieve the purpose you want to do. And it's rough. Like, for me, it's much harder and even impossible to balance your life when you dedicate one aspect of your life to consistency. And I don't really know. Like, everyone hypes consistency up to be such a good thing. And I do understand why. It is a great thing when you could thrive in a system where you wake up, do this, do that, do this, do that, then do it all over again for 365 days. But people don't realize how much that takes and how much that takes out of you. You got to be ready to commit to that kind of grueling lifestyle. And I don't know if I am. You know, I changed a lot from last year. Like, last year I was all about the red pill alpha male. I was all about, like, oh, men gotta be strong. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, sure, like, men gotta be strong. You get me? Like, I'm not saying I was wrong. I'm just saying I view strength differently now. You know, I thought strength came from like, you know, a lot of superficial stuff. I thought strength came from purely money. You know, obviously strength does not come from money. No, strength can derive from money. It can give you strength, but it's also not the sole thing, you know. Like, when you're rich and famous, like, do you feel fulfilled in the same way? Because, like, you might say, hey, like, of course I'd feel fulfilled, right? Like, that's my end goal. But I'm telling you this, like, I was looking for, like, a good grade at the end of the year for an entire year in a row. Like, I think these things can be paralleled. And at the end of the day, when I got the grade, do I feel fulfilled? No. Fuck no. I feel like, what the fuck did I do with my life for my entire year? You know, like, I sacrificed so much for that grade. And at the end of the day, I was like, sure, I got it. But then if I had to relive my life, would I relive my life in a different way? 100%. And that's why I realized, like, what truly gives you strengths going forward is reflection. You know, it's like a building. Like, the reflection is like the base underneath. Like, you don't see reflection and how it reflection, you know, itself. It's like you got to drill so deep underground to give yourself the stability to grow up, you know, because every single piece of reflection you do in the end transforms you into this kind of, like, tall skyscraper, this kind of strong, stationary building. You get me? Like, each time you reflect, you just have a more well-rounded perspective of who you really are. And isn't that fulfilling? Isn't that what we're trying to do? Just to reflect on everything you did and just trying to improve yourself gradually. I feel like, just don't, like, people might be telling you, like, commit 100%, or, like, go for it, like, 100%. Like, you gotta make a decision in life. I'm not saying don't make a decision in life. The worst thing is that if you're 50-50 about everything, like, That's bad. Like when you don't know what decision you're making, that's bad, because you either gotta make a bad decision or a good decision, but you gotta realize that a bad decision is better than no decision. That's kind of cliche, but that's how it is. But also you can't tell yourself to commit to 100% to everything, because in life there's no guarantees. In life there's no guarantees that's gonna pay off. Obviously it's important sometimes to make a leap of faith. Sometimes for split moments, you can give 100%. Before an extended period of time, to give 100% is absurdity for me. Is absurdity. Because imagine a person, if you work 24 hours a day, okay, let's not make it that extreme. Let's say a person works 16 hours a day. That is 100%, right? My guy is giving his life on the line. A burst of work, intense work, is possible. And I think it's even positive, because sometimes it can push you across the line. It can make you have an insane breakthrough moment in your life, get through the bottleneck. That stuff in life is inspirational. However, if you're going 100%, or what you perceive to be 100%, for 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 years, you're not making out this world alive after the age of 25. I'm telling you. There's sometimes you gotta just really slow down and take it like a pinch of salt. You can't deep life too much, you know. I realize you can't deep life too much, because if you're working 16 hours a day for even 7 weeks, you're killing yourself. You are killing yourself. Your body catches up to you. That's what I realized. That's why you don't go 100%, because if you're going 100%, you're exerting everything every day. And you don't want that. You know? You don't want that, because the capacity for you to be able to exert that day upon day upon day diminishes. It's just like, let's say, I don't know, like, let's say there's like a reservoir, and there's like 100 cubic meters of water in that reservoir. And like the first day you drain all the water from it. Do you know how slow it is to fill a reservoir with natural like rainwater? It's gonna feel like, let's say it's raining every day. Let's say you're having this kind of insane adrenaline. The next day there's 50 cubic centimeters left for you to drain. 25 the next. Then it's 15. Then it's 10. It gets less and less and less, because you don't get the build up anymore. You gotta build up your adrenaline. It doesn't keep on going, you know? And it wears you down. Like, these kinds of things really wear you down. I think the optimum is giving it 80% every single day. Giving it a solid 80%, but understanding that there are joys to life. And it's okay sometimes to take it slow. It's okay to sometimes to yield to the fact that life is difficult, and I'm going to take a chill pill and take a rest day. Because I think that is the mature way to live life. I don't think all the motherfuckers on YouTube who tell you, oh, I have the perfect life. I go committed 100% every single day. I have this beautiful girlfriend, and we have a wonderful relationship, and I make 7 figures each year. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, we know that your fucking life is probably shit behind the scenes. Because I always like to make this analogy. Like, do I want to become rich and famous? Like, okay, you might say I'm a privileged ass kid and I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm just going to voice some part of what my opinion is, okay? So, being rich and famous is like the dream for most people. It was the dream for me last year, right? I get it, right? But now once I look back on it, life is like pillars. Imagine that there's like 10 pillars. Pillars are like these like stone blocks, by the way. So I'm thinking, let's say these 10 pillars stand for different things, such as like sports, relationships, monetary things, um, relationships with friends, relationship with having healthy food, spending quality time with your partner, these kind of like pillars. Let's say there's 10 of them. And if you value some things over another, such as monetary gain, one pillar grows larger. But since I believe that life is equal, there's a certain number of hours in each day. If one pillar grows taller, the other pillars get shorter. So if you get what I'm saying, if this one pillar grows taller, you have to sacrifice each and every other one of those 9 pillars to accommodate for this one pillar. So if you're rich and famous, and you dedicate so much time to social media, let's say, and going out to meet the fans, it's difficult. It's difficult in, let's say, your marital relationship, because you don't have enough time to spend with your wife back home every single day. And she's feeling the brunt of the fact that you cannot spend time with her, but you're spending time with your audience. Maybe she respects you for it. And okay, that's important. If she supports you, that's even more important. But the thing is, you can't keep on doing that and doing that and doing that. There's one day where she's going to feel like you're not giving her enough attention. And that's the main thing. Because you sacrifice so much to get to that point. And finally, when you get it, as I said before, is it really worth it? Like, obviously, I want to live a comfortable life. I want to make a good living. But do I want to be rich and famous? If we're taking my viewpoint right now, I don't know how far I would be willing to go to reach that kind of goal. I don't know. My mom always said, like, imagine these 10 pillars again, but imagine if it's a bucket and if there's like blocks. You know how there's like wooden blocks around a bucket? Wooden like planks. Yeah, wooden planks around this bucket. It's like wooden bucket, right? And like you have one really long plank and other planks are short. Let's say this plank is you are rich and famous. When you're getting water from the well, you can't hold that much water because of the short planks. It doesn't matter how long this fucking one plank is, because you can't hold the water from the other planks. However, if you manage to balance both planks reasonably well, like 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches long, instead of one 10-inch and one 1-inch, you can actually hold more water within this well. And isn't life all about trying to hold more water? Isn't it trying to retain that life within you? To exert it slowly, to experience it fully, to let it flow out of you instead of vanish? Like, I was thinking about life. I was like, life is so beautiful, man. Like, I was so like, last year, I posted this video on my channel if you want to check it out. 42.195 kilometers. I ran a fucking marathon. And do I regret it? Sorta. Like, when you exert yourself that much, I realized my body couldn't handle it. And I was like, what is the whole point? To prove myself that nothing is impossible? Sure. I proved to myself again and again already that nothing is impossible. I know I can do something if I wanted to. But also my body can't bear the brunt of such an overexerted activity. I never realized how important it is to take the time and take the effort to actually train. In a way, I was not balancing my life. I was just saying, fuck it, let's go for it. That's why it's so difficult for people to do stuff on the whim. Like, sometimes you got to plan. I realize how important it is to just take a step back. And it was like, maybe you might think, like, this guy is out his mind, And I don't blame you. It's a very controversial opinion. But that's just what I've been realizing. And I just realized kind of deep, Like, do I know what the meaning of life is? Fuck no. But is it fun thinking about it? 100%. I think it's so interesting thinking about it. Like, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Taking one day at a time. Just trying to live the most out of life, honestly. Life's not that. Life's simple. I'm saying this as a fucking 17-year-old. Know nothing about life. But hey, with my 17 years of experience, I think I'd rather take life with a pinch of salt when I still can. And if you're watching this, put a smile on that face. Just smile. It's okay. Like anything happens. It ain't deep. Ain't matter. It's my stream of consciousness for today. I would like to post more. I think if I do post more, it's definitely more of these streams of consciousness, kind of reflection on the meaning of life type. Hope you guys enjoyed if you listened to this long. And I'll probably catch you in the next one, hopefully soon. Much love.